A pleasant morning to you all. Today, we will discussing the research we have done regarding the roles of occupational safety and health regulation in the workplace. In this topic, we will discuss in two main elements, which are roles of occupational safety health legal requirement in business management and the Occupational Safety and Health Act in Malaysia and its salient features. Before we start, let's begin with self-introduction starting with THIAN.
Hi, my name is BINTI.
Hi, greetings to everyone. My name is AMIRA ZULAIKHA binti Muhammad SUPIAN.
Hi everyone, my name is Syazrien bin GHAZALI.
Hello everyone, my name is Binti Bahrudin.
Hi everyone, my name is Syazrien.
Thank you all for the self-introduction. Now, let us get into the discussion. So, starting with the definition, as we know, in our country, Malaysia, is it a fast-growing country with and well-developed and especially in industry sector. Therefore, the way OSH management is implemented is very important. There are two acts bonding all organizations in Malaysia in order to ensure the workers are being protected from all risks coming from the workplace hazard, which are Factory and Machinery 1967 FMA 1967 and Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994. So, based on this act, what do you think about the roles of OSH legal requirement is in business management?
Occupational safety and health, including compliance with OHH requirements under national registrations and regulations and practice. It is the responsibility and duty of the employer. The employer shall demonstrate strong leadership and commitment to the OHH activity of the organizations and make appropriate arrangement for the establishment of the occupational safety and health in business management.
Yes, I agree with that. The system shall contain the main element of policy, organization, planning and implementation, assessment and improvement activities. For the first element in the policy, an OSH policy is a written document which expresses the organization commitment to employee health, safety and well-being.
Is this a foundation for the effort taken to provide a suitable working environment?
Yes, the policy should influence all the activities including the selection of people, equipment and materials, the way work is done and how you design and provide goods and the service.
So, how about the element of organizing?
Okay, for the element of organizing, the employer has to clearly define responsibility, accountability, and authority for the OSHMS. Every members of the organization should understand their respective responsibility, authority, and accountability for OSH issues. The organization should ensure that every employee is accountable for their health and also of their co-employees.
It should also consider incorporating this accountability into the job description and make a point of reviewing it during performance. What do you think, Syazrien?
Yeah, that's true. From my study, planning and implementation also is a vital element in the role of OSH legal requirement in the business management. In order to achieve the safety and health objective, the organization should prepare their OSH plan. OSH plan can serve as a roadmap. The plan should identify and allocate responsibility and authority to deliver the OSH objective.
How the roadmap works.
Okay, it will tell the organization what has to be done, when it has to be done, who is responsible and what to achieve. It should also identify the tasks to be implemented, allocated time scale, to meet the related objective and resource. For example, financial, equipment and logistics to each task.
So how about the element of assessment?
From my research of the assessment, the employer shall identify assets and control risks. Asset identification is the process of identifying assets in the workplace or for work procedure. This assessment involves the estimation and evaluation of risk level, taking into account the existing control. For risk control, appreciated risk control should be established and implemented according to the level of risk identified.
I agree with Siva Priya's statement because it same goes to the improvement. The organization should have effective procedure for preventive and corrective action resulting from OSH in business management performance, monitoring and measurements, audits, and also the management review. Preventive action are action taken to eliminate the underlying roots, causes of the potential non-conformity or potential undesirable situation in order to prevent occurrence.
Actually, applying the rule of OSH is also good for a business. As in thought economy times, it's important to remember that pro-workplace safety and health cost money. Everyone from individual workers to national health system loses out when OSH is neglected. But this means that everyone can benefit from better policies and practices. Countries with pro-workplace safety and health system use valuable resources dealing with avoidable injuries and illness. A strong national strategy leads to numerous benefits, such as improved productivity through less sickness absence, cutting healthcare costs, keeping older workers in employment, simulating more efficient working methods and technologies, reducing the number of people who have to cut their hours to care for a family member.
Okay, what are the economic impact of both good and poor OSH management?
So it is vital that policymakers, researchers, and intermediaries understand the answer to this question. But to do so, it requires good quality data. OSHA thus aim to address this need in two stages of review project, which is cost and benefit of occupational safety and health, which are aimed to develop an economic costing model to establish reliable estimation of the cost.
Yes, this is because not only does poor safety and health cost company money, but the good of OSH pay dividends. Business with the highest safety and health standard are more successful and more sustainable.
Yeah, you are right. It is what I want to say too. The economic advantage of good OSH for business large and small are significant. To give just a few examples, good workplace safety and health. First, improve worker productivity. Second, cut down on absenteeism. Third, reduce compensation payment. And lastly, meet the requirement of public and private sector contractor.
No wonders at the current time. Many companies use management system. I think the big advantage of the OSH management system in that they provide a clear description of the how process concerning safety and health can be organized in the company. The International Labour Organization defined an OSH management system as a set of interrelated or interacting elements of established OSH policy and objectives and to achieve those objectives.
So now let's go to our next topic, which is the Occupational Safety and Health Act in Malaysia and its salient features. From my view, OSHA or Act 540 provide the legislative framework for the safety, health, and the welfare among all the Malaysian workers. But this principle is to prevent and protect the workers against hazard and it is in connection with their activities at work. It requires all companies to establish and document such as safety and health policy duties of the employer, employees, and the safety and health officer, the safety and health community of the companies, and the occupational safety and health inspection and officer. Tell me, do you know the purpose of the Act 540R?
It is to promote an occupations environment for persons at work, which is adapted to their physiological and psychological needs and to provide the means, whereby the associated occupations, safety and health legislations may be progressively replaced by a system of regulations. An approved industry code of practice operating in combinations with the provisions of this Act designed to maintain or improve the standard of safe and health. Mira, do you know how is the implementation of OSHA in this Act?
Yes, the DOS said that all employers with more than 5 employees are required by the legislation to arrange a written safety and health policy. The objective is to demonstrate the commitment of the employer or company to ensure safety and health in the workplace.
And the safety and health policy must be considered when making decisions or performing work activities of the organization, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This law also specifies the general duty of employers, self-employed persons, manufacturers, designers, suppliers, and so on.
So is there anyone know more about the Act 139?
Okay, the Act 139 was enacted in 1967 and it is the legislation applicable until today to promote the control of factories with respect to matters relating to the safety, health, and welfare of persons during the registration, inspection of machinery, and for matters connected therewith.
Okay. The rationale for amending the FMA 1967 was also to provide for the provision giving the power to the minister to issue license to individual or company carrying out activities under the Act to update, improve, and clarify unclear or vague provision.
Yeah, it also ensure the relevancy of the provision contained in Act with the current development and to ease the enforcement of the law as well as to increase the amount of fines suitable to current situation.
That's great. Besides, based on my research, the OSHA 1994 was made in considerations of the fact that FMA 1967 Act 139, which provide control of the factories and only cover sectors such as manufacturing, mining, quarrying, and construction. The workers that are covered by the FMA 1967 only consist of 24% of the national total manpower, while OSHA 1994 covers 90% of the national total manpower. From the factories and machinery at 1967, it is divided into 6 parts, which contain Part 1, which is preliminary, Part 2, safety, health and welfare, Part 3, persons in charge and certificates of competency, Part 4, notifications of accidents, dangerous occurrence, and dangerous diseases. Part 5, notice of occupations of factories and registrations and use of machinery. And the last part is general.
Yes, exactly. Apart from the Department of Occupational Safety and Health, DOSH, a government department under the Ministry of Human Resources Malaysia, is responsible for true enforcement and promotional works. Those employers, self-employed persons, manufacturers, designers, importers, suppliers, and employees to always practice safe and health work culture and always comply with the existing legislation, guidelines, and a code of practice in relation to occupational safety and health.
So, other than that, the duty imposed by OSHA 1994 on the employer or the self-employed person is to ensure, so far as practicable, the safety, health, and welfare at work of all his employees. The work is defined under the Act to mean work as an employee or as a self-employed person. The employee and a self-employed person are deemed to be at their place of work in the circumstances. Do you guys know what kind of circumstances it is?
Okay, if not mistaken, an employee is deemed to be at the work throughout the time when he is at his place of work, but not otherwise. And a self-employed person is at work throughout such time as he devotes to work as a self-employed person.
Yes, it's right. But there is one more crucial point on this act.
Do you mean the place of work, which also defined as a premises where the person work or premises used for the storage of plant or substance?
How do you know it? Will you further explain on it?
I know it. The premises is defined to include any land, building, or part of any building, any vehicle, and any installation on land, offshore installation, or other installation whether on the bed of or floating on any water.
So, from the narrative, if the employee or self-employed person is contractually obligated to work offshore on multiple sites or even assigned overseas during their course of employment, then they are considered to be the place of work.
Yes, you are right.
So, do you guys ever heard about the Social Security Organization?
It is also
No doubt, it's also. It was established as one of the government departments under the Ministry of Human Resources to administer, implement, and enforce the Employees' Social Security Act 1969 and the Employees' Social Security Regulations 1971.
And there is the employment injury scheme under SOCSO provides protection to employees against occupational injuries, including occupational diseases and commuting accidents.
Yes, this is another important piece of legislation which protects employees during their course of employment in the Employees Society Security Act 1969. It provides for social security for employment injury contingencies in favor of employees. Priya, do you know what is the employee right to claim for certain benefits?
Is it a medical benefit, disemployment benefit, and constant attendance allowance?
Yes, and there are a few more which are dependence benefits, funeral benefits, survivor pensions, and invalidity pensions.
Alright, thank you, you guys. Thank you, Farhin, Amira, Sivapriya, and Tianmi and Syazrien for sharing and explaining the information and detail for today's topic. And I think by this sharing, we are able to learn and gain more knowledge of both of the act that being implemented in our country. As conclusion, although more than 80 years have passed since OSHA was first implemented in Malaysia, but OSHA have not been evaluated, as Malaysia has always been a fast-growing country for more than 3 decades. Certain provisions are in place that may no longer be compatible with the current situation. Therefore, I wish by this discussion we are able to apply the knowledge and awareness of this particular issue and make more changes and improvement by our generation continuously. Lastly, good job And thank you all for the all valuable time for joining this discussion. Stay safe and goodbye. Bye.
Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.